the Associated Press has written pretty much a post-mortem on Hillary Clinton's candidacy. What did she do wrong? Now, I don't want to get too deep into it because we've covered that topic rather exhaustively in the past. But I did want to read you one small part of it that I found interesting in the midst of a rather long piece. One, they focused on basically what we've said before, which is she had no plan B. And as I was reading that, it did trigger one extra thought in me. Her initial plan was to win by Super Tuesday, blow them out in California and some of the big states. And in fact, she was on the record as saying, on February 5th, it'll be over, and there won't be anything after that, and I will be the nominee. This whole inevitable strategy. If you will, and this is the thought that it triggered in me, it was kind of a shock and awe strategy. And then if that didn't work, they didn't have a plan B. Now, who does that remind you of? I was thinking, ready on day one? I don't think so. I mean, people who are ready on day one have plan A, B, and C. They don't have plan A, and if it doesn't work, their shock and awe strategy doesn't work, and they sit on their ass. I saw a guy like that, and believe me, he wasn't ready on day one. But here's the other part of the article that I found interesting. I'm going to quote you what they said about how Clinton couldn't find the quote-unquote authentic Clinton. 16 months after she opened her campaign sitting on a couch in a cozy online video, it's questionable whether people ever discovered the authentic Clinton. Is she the whiskey-downing pit bull of Indiana, the near-tears softy of New Hampshire, the technocrat of healthcare reform, or the populist who dismisses policy wonks as out-of-touch elitists? They know that I can make decisions, she said in New Hampshire, but I also want them to know I'm a real person. Even many of the New York Senator's supporters thought she would say anything to win or to be anyone, or be anyone. And that, you see, that's one of the problems right there, okay? I know all politicians are fake, right? But she comes across as fake. And that's a real problem if you're a politician. Because these politicians are actors, basically. That's why Ronald Reagan was a great politician. Because he was I don't know if he was a great actor, but he was a great actor in the context of other politicians. And he made you, and Bill Clinton even, he felt your pain. And the way he, emoted, you got the sense of, here's somebody who cares about me, right? Right or wrong. And, to this day, I think Bill Clinton cares about you. And maybe I'm a sucker, but I do think that, right? From Hillary Clinton, you never got that sense. I mean, I got a sense of somebody who says, some call them now panda bears. And she just would do whatever. When she was downing shots, pretending to be with the people, and making fun of economists. I mean, the authentic Hillary Clinton? And can you imagine, is that what Hillary Clinton really does? Like in her off time? She's like, all right, come on, let's go get wasted. Get none of this BS anymore. Come on, let's down some shots. Oh, yeah, screw economists. And then afterwards, after they lose, after they run campaigns like that, then they'll go on Leno or Letterman. 6 months later, 18 months later, they'll have a beard, so Hillary Clinton will have a beard. And then they'll say, if only I'd run as the real Hillary Clinton. But the thing is, I think this really sad part is, I think she did run as the real Hillary Clinton. I think this is the real Hillary Clinton. And for a lot, and it's not just Hillary. I think it's true for a lot of politicians. I think the real person, whoever it is the one that does pander, and that is inauthentic, and that does go on both sides of the issue, because they do anything to get elected. That's why they went into politics in the first place. So, when that does come around finally, and it will, and it says after the elections, sometime in 2009, if I'd just shown people the real me, the one that was in New Hampshire. She'll go back to New Hampshire because that was her shining moment. I think people could have connected, and I made a mistake by listening to my advisors. She'll say that because that's what everybody always says. But they always make that mistake because the real them is a pandering politician.